What is up, everybody? Erin and I arrived in Tampa, Florida on a Thursday. We were in Florida for the Orange Blossom Gravel, which would be the next day in Avon Park. After getting our bikes set up, we went off to meet Steven, the organizer of the event, for lunch at La Segunda. They are famous for their bakery, their bread, and most importantly, their Cubans. So it was great to meet him and his buddy and get a little bit of a lay of the land before heading off on a ride we had planned around Old Tampa Bay.
Hi, babe.
Florida.
Holla!
Heat wave. Stephen had told us that there's a much more historic version of that restaurant, but we didn't really have the time to get out there, so we kind of stuck near the strip mall version. There we had stopped to watch some pelicans, and here we are riding near the airport on what is called the U-Path. We were really surprised when we looked up the temperature because it was just in the high 60s. To us, coming from the harsh winter we've been having in Ohio, this definitely felt like it was in the 80s. What a change. It's only been in the teens around here. We were impressed with all the different kinds of bike infrastructure in the Tampa area. Some of the times we were on these very commercial district roads that were busy and fast, but they still had a bike lane. Not everybody would be comfortable riding those, maybe families wouldn't and stuff like that, but I'm still glad they exist. So if you are trying to get where you're going directly, or if you're someone who works at those kind of businesses, you don't need to own a car. I don't know. I really like that kind of infrastructure because around here we don't even have the shoulder half the time. So we were on the Oldsmar Trail for a minute, back through this commercial district, and then out onto the Ream-Wilson Clearwater Trail. And we were crossing over the north part of the harbor at this point, and then into the town and through the town of Safety Harbor, which was all wonderful riding and made any of the roads that weren't quite as great worthwhile.
Clap your hands and go, go, go. Shout, I'm alive now. No, no, that something good is gonna happen. When I let go for my fears and never ever look back again. Can you feel the sun? Can you see it through the blue, blue sky?
We had a couple different routes in mind depending on how the timing would work out. There was a part of town out here we wanted to get to where there was supposed to be a bunch of breweries, and then we'd also get to see a little bit more of the water in a different section. But we realized we were just going to run out of time, and we'd rather just complete a shorter version of the loop and then get back towards our hotel and decide what we wanted to do. Yes, I almost hit that squirrel right there.
Happen when I let go for my fears and never look back again.
Here we are approaching the Courtney Campbell Bridge, which is a causeway that as soon as I saw the map of Tampa and saw that it had bike infrastructure, I knew I wanted to ride. We stopped at the beach here and took some photos. I unfortunately propped up my bike with one of my water bottles and then promptly rode off. So I hope someone found that and it didn't just go out with the tide.
I let go for my fears and never ever.
As you can see, this is exactly the kind of riding you want to do when you've come from Akron, Ohio, and it's 10 degrees Fahrenheit outside at home.
Freedom's calling your name. Freedom's calling your name.
Looking at the profile of the route we had planned had these couple spikes that make it seem like you're about to do a bunch of steep climbing. But no, it's just so flat around the Tampa area that those spikes just happen to be the bridges that we were crossing. We did end up stopping here for a minute to take some more pictures and plan our next move. I even stepped out into the water for a bit. We decided to go around to Cypress Point Park below the airport to watch the sunset, as the timing would be about perfect. It was cool out there on the beach and on the ride in to see the planes flying right overhead, an experience you don't really get here at home. I did get a number of great photos on this ride. I brought my Canon R8 with me, and all those photos will be at the end of the video. We made a plan to head to the original location of Cigar City Brewing. We had kind of wanted to go to some of the breweries Steven recommended and that Erin had on her list that were more in the Ybor neighborhood, but that still would have been a further 9 miles, so 18 miles round trip. So when we found Cigar City, it was more like 4.5 miles away. We figured this was the route to go. We had ridden very directly to Cigar City. That's why we were on the sidewalks in parts, but we found ourselves a much better residential route back to our hotel over by the airport. We ended up with about 42 miles on the day, so pretty nice day cruising around Tampa doing some sightseeing. In the morning, we were heading off towards downtown. Erin had a number of coffee shops she wanted to check out. I was donning my new Cigar City bucket cap that was keeping the sun off my face for the rest of the trip. Again, here, this is a one-way street, but you could see they have the great infrastructure so you could ride your bike in the other direction. Our first destination was Blind Tiger Coffee Roasters, and the coffee and coffee drinks were really, really good here. The Alternative Weekly also had some articles about mountain biking and trail building in the area, which was pretty cool to check out. We then rode along Bayshore Boulevard. We were only on this walking path area for a minute before realizing we were much better off being in the bike lane. It was cool to see, too, they were setting up for their Gasparilla Festival, which is this pirate festival that's been going on for more than 100 years. We didn't get to see any of it, but there's a big parade, and it's this whole thing based on their patron pirate who comes into town with the crew, and yeah, children's parades, fireworks, boats, I guess all that kind of stuff. Here we jumped onto the Riverwalk. This is not the kind of place you want to ride if you're really trying to get somewhere fast. Obviously, a lot of pedestrians, people hanging out, people taking photos, but as a tourist, the perfect kind of thing to do, and just keep your pace very reasonable.
Oh, maybe.
Our next destination was Elevation Coffee. This place had a really, really cool atmosphere, this old Spanish bar feeling vibe going on. What we had done there is what we do in many places. We just simply locked the bikes together. Does it mean someone couldn't steal them? No, but it would be a real pain, and we knew we weren't going to be long. After that, we decided to skip out on Erin's next 2 planned stops because it was just starting to get to the time of day where we needed to get out to the Orange Blossom Gravel event. On Friday, there was going to be a hot laps race at a new mountain bike area, and we wanted to get there to check it all out. I wanted to film everything and hang out and meet everyone. So we just worked our way back across the city and rode directly to the airport. At the airport, Erin picked up the truck we had rented. We threw our bikes in there, drove back to the hotel, threw our bike bags into the truck, and then we started making the 2-hour drive out to Avon Park. So Orange Blossom Gravel will be the next video. It's a good one. Also working on the video, as I mentioned, about traveling with your bicycle and how it went for us on our first time doing it. Thanks as always for watching. Consider becoming a channel member if you want to support us some more, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
No.